And, I think your assessment is correct. And hopefully neither one of us will get arrested the next time we go to England for what we're about to say on this segment. But what is going on with Labour in the UK right now, and particularly these attacks on Nigel Farage?
Yeah, this is a crazy time to be in the UK. Keir Starmer, as you rightly said, the most unpopular Prime Minister of all time. Nigel Farage, if an election were called tomorrow.
Something explosive is happening in British politics tonight, and it could reshape the future of the United Kingdom. The streets are buzzing, the crowds are roaring, and at the center of it all stand two names that strike fear and fury into the heart of the establishment: Nigel Farage and Elon Musk. Yes, you heard that right. What began as a movement has now become a battle, one that's shaking the Labour government to its very core. Let's start with Labour, because the cracks in their foundation are no longer hidden, they're wide open. Keir Starmer, once presented as the calm, steady hand after years of chaos.
I do believe he would be the next Prime Minister of Great Britain. And then sort of around the side of that, you heard the attacks on the brilliant Elon Musk there. That was in response to the Unite the Kingdom rally. So I came here to the States directly from the front of the Unite the Kingdom rally. 3 million decent, ordinary British people took to the streets of the capital city to show the rest of the world that Great Britain is waking up. It was a glorious day. It was a peaceful day. I was so proud of everybody there waving their St. George's Cross and the Union flags. And your American
is now being branded by critics as the most unpopular Prime Minister in British history. That's not just an insult, it's a label that stings. Because if an election were called tomorrow, polls suggest that Nigel Farage, yes, Nigel Farage, could march straight into number 10. The Labour leadership knows it, the people sense it, and the establishment is scrambling. But while the walls of government tremble, a movement outside Westminster is rising. The Unite the Kingdom rally wasn't just another protest. It was history in the making. 3 million people, ordinary British citizens, packed the streets of London. Men, women, families, young and old, waving their St. George's Cross and Union Jacks high in the air. The message: Britain is waking up. Britain is finding its voice again. And Britain is no longer willing to stay silent. What shocked the political elite most wasn't the sheer size of the rally, it was its spirit. Peaceful, united, patriotic. For hours, the capital city echoed with chants of pride, not rage. In a time where politics often divides, this was a reminder that the nation can still stand shoulder to shoulder. But make no mistake, that unity is terrifying for those in power. Because a people united are a people impossible to control. And here's where things get even more explosive. While Farage rose on the streets, attacks began flying against him in the press, in Parliament, and even from the highest offices of government. Mere campaigns, accusations, whispered threats. And then, circling the chaos, came another target: Elon Musk. Why Musk? Because he dared to speak up. Because he amplified the voices of those rallying in London. And for that, the establishment branded him a danger. Imagine that, the world's most influential entrepreneur being dragged into the mud simply for supporting free speech. Katie Hopkins didn't hold back either. She went straight for the jugular, accusing Starmer's government of orchestrating these attacks, of weaponizing the media to crush opposition voices. Her words cut deep because they echoed what millions already suspected, that the establishment isn't just failing the people, it's actively fighting against them. That suspicion is no longer a whisper. It's a roar, spreading across Britain like wildfire. So, what does this all mean? It means Labour isn't just facing political opposition. They're facing a people's revolution, one that doesn't wear suits, one that doesn't hide in Parliament, but one that takes to the streets, waving flags, and demanding change. Farage, once written off by critics as a political outsider, is suddenly standing taller than ever before. And when 3 million people stand behind you, even the most powerful government starts to tremble. As night falls on Westminster, one truth is impossible to ignore: Britain is at a crossroads. Will the establishment tighten its grip, silencing every voice that dares to rise? Or will the people, emboldened and united, finally tip the balance of power? That answer isn't in the halls of Parliament, it's in the streets, in the voices of millions, and in the choice the nation makes next. One thing is certain: this fight has only just begun.